Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Grind. Today we are looking at a really interesting problem called closest equal element queries. As always, if anything gets confusing, just drop your question in the comments down below. I make sure to reply to every single one. Here is the problem page. It's a little bit wordy, so let's break it down into simple terms with a visual. We are given a list of numbers. But there is a catch. This list isn't a straight line. It's circular. The very last element connects right back to the very first element. We're also given a list of queries. Each query gives us a starting position. Let's say our first query is position 0, where the number is 1. Our goal is to find the nearest position that holds that exact same number. Here another one is at position 2. If we walk to the right, from position 0 to position 2, that takes 2 steps. But remember, it's a circle. We could also walk backwards. If we step left from 0, we wrap around to position 6, then 5, and finally hit the 1 at position 4. We calculate the distance going both ways, and just take whichever is shorter. So for this query, our answer is 2. Let's look at our first approach for solving this efficiently. It uses a hash table and binary search. Big realization here is that we don't need to check every single matching number in the whole array. We only care about our immediate neighbor to the left and our immediate neighbor to the right. To find neighbors quickly, we can group all the positions of each number together into a dictionary. But we have a problem. What if we are looking at the 1 at position 0? Its left neighbor in this list doesn't exist, because the list stops. We solve this by adding fake boundary positions. We take the last known position, subtract the total length of the list, and put that at the front. Then we take the first position, add the length, and put it at the back. Now every real position perfectly has a left neighbor and a right neighbor in the list, effectively simulating our circle without any complex math during our search. Here is the full Python code for this approach. Let's zoom in on a few key parts so it makes total sense. First, we figure out the total length. Then we loop through our main list once, adding every position to our dictionary grouped by what number is sitting there. Next, we go through those lists of positions we just made. We grab the very first position, let's call it X. We insert our fake left boundary using the last item, and append our fake right boundary using X. Now we process the queries. What if a number is completely unique, like the number 4 in our example? Well, its position list will only have its one real position, plus the 2 fake ones we just added. If the length is exactly 3, we know it's unique, so we just set the answer to -1 and move on. If it's not unique, we use binary search to quickly find exactly where our query position sits in our list of matches. Then, we simply calculate the distance to the neighbor right in front of it, and the neighbor right behind it, and save the smaller number. Alright, let's look at approach number 2. This one relies on heavy pre-processing up front. Instead of looking up lists during each query, what if we just built 2 giant cheat sheets? One array holding the nearest left match for every spot, and another holding the nearest right match. To handle the circular wrapping here, we use a clever loop. For the left side, we loop from -n, all the way up to our length -1. As we sweep left to right, we use a dictionary to keep track of the most recent spot we saw each number. If our current spot is 0 or higher, we record whatever is currently in the dictionary as our left neighbor. Then we do the exact same thing in reverse. We sweep from double the length down to 0, updating a fresh dictionary to build our right neighbor's cheat sheet. Here is the full code for approach 2. It looks a bit wild with the negative numbers, but the logic is incredibly solid. We start by setting up our empty left and right arrays, making them the same size as our main list. We also get our tracking dictionary ready. In our first sweep, if we haven't seen the number before, we default its last position back to -n. We use modulo math to make sure we are always looking at the correct value in our list, even when our index goes negative. When we finally process the queries, everything is ready. We just look up our spot in the left array and the right array. If the distance to the left neighbor is exactly the size of the list, we know it wrapped all the way around without finding a match, meaning it's unique, so we return -1. So how fast are these? For the first approach, the time complexity is order n plus m log n, where n is the list length and m is the number of queries. The second approach is slightly faster, at order n plus m. Both approaches use the same amount of memory. The space complexity is order n, because we have to store our dictionaries and helper arrays. The biggest lessons from this problem are learning how to use virtual bounds to simplify circular array logic, and seeing how pre-computing answers can make your actual query processing lightning fast. Before we wrap up, I've got the full solutions in Java, C++, and JavaScript on the next few slides. If you want to actually test this code, you don't need to pause and type it out. Just head to the link in the description to copy and paste it directly. Here is the approach 2 logic implemented in Java. Next up, here is the exact same logic written in C++. And finally, here is the clean JavaScript version. Real quick, you might have noticed I've changed the format of these videos a bit lately to be much punchier. Please let me know in the comments if you prefer this style, and remember to drop any final questions about the problem down there too. As a quick disclaimer, you can probably tell this is narrated by AI. I built this workflow for myself so I could generate clear, instant explanations the moment a daily problem drops. It helps me study faster, and I upload them here with 0 ads and 0 sponsorships, in case they help you too. I am on a mission to eventually post a solution for literally every single Leetcode problem. If you want to support that goal, you can toss a coin at buymeaboba.com/LeetCodeDaily. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's problem. Keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one.